Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Today we are back with Garage Review after just about, I would say, maybe a month and a week, so just about 5 weeks of not having Garage Review on my channel. It's finally back because finally the pack openings are finally over. A lot of finallys in that message. I mean, today is, when I'm recording it, the 26th of August, so honestly, almost the whole month of August was just pack openings, because I know I started on the 1st, and it just went all the way till the 26th. Obviously, here and there are a little bit of palette cleansers, one being my update video, the other one being the Koenigsegg video, and the last one being the pack review. But besides that, it's been all pack openings. But finally, we are back to normal schedules on my channel, and we are going back with Garage Review. So today, we're going to be reviewing Ambang's Garage Review. You might know who Ambang is. He's been in a couple of my streams. He's one of my patrons as well, so a huge shout out to him. And I've already written about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of notes. Obviously, my notebook is a little smaller than the last time. I remember when I first started Garage Review, it was a pretty big notebook, but now it's a bit smaller, so, you know, more pages makes sense. Anyway, we just finished the comments. I hope you guys had a good look. You know, for my notes for the comments, all I said was that everything seems to check out. You know, you have more comments than me. You know, usually when I review Garage Review, or when I review someone else's garage, I have the garage, you know, unlisted YouTube video playing on my computer, and then I have my own garage on my phone to my side, so I can compare, oh, what car he has, what car he doesn't have, why he should have this car, because I have a reason for every car in my garage and why I have it maxed. Some of them have great reasons, and some others are like the BMW M3, where I'm just like, I like it. That's it. It's not even a good car. For those situations, if he has the BMW M3, I wouldn't tell you to keep it because I like it, because you may not like it. And obviously the BMW M3, besides the fact that I like the car, is useless. But you get what I mean. These reviews, they're kind of, I make them towards your preference. So before every Garage Review video, I always ask the owners, you know, what their specializations are, what their favorite brands are. I didn't ask Ambang what his favorites were because I already knew it, because he's been my patron for a while. So I know for a fact that this garage is very Italian heavy, very Mercedes heavy, and when I was looking at it further, I feel like it's very Aston Martin heavy as well. But with that said, I'm going to give priority to Italy and Mercedes. So when it comes to fuse pile, and when I talk about what cars Ambang should fuse later in the video, you guys might think, oh, why didn't you say you should fuse the Maserati Grand Cabrio? You say fuse the Maserati Grand Cabrio in every other video. You know, that's because I've taken into account that I know that he's an Italian collector. So anyway, with that said, let's get into uncommons. The first thing I want to talk about, let's just go back a little bit, and that is going to be the Chevrolet Tahoe. The only reason why I want to talk about this is because it's kind of like the American version of the Mercedes-Benz V250D that we see to the right of the car. It's a decent car to have. Now, I'm going for the really niche things in your garage, Ambang, because you have a really good uncommon collection already. So, you know, unlike some other, you know, weaker garages where it's very easy to talk about cars that you should get, like the Twizy or the Plymouth GTX, or, you know, as I always say, if you play clubs, you can get multiple. You know, since your garage is already very advanced, I have to nitpick all the small little things. So, you know, the Chevrolet Tahoe, it's a great hill climb car. It has high ground clearance, standard tires, low 0 to 60, and like I said, it's like the American version of the Mercedes-Benz V250. So if you want, I would recommend getting that 996. It's a very niche car, really for low RQ uncommon only, for hill climbs as well, but you know, it's pretty useful nonetheless. Anyway, moving on, the next car I want to talk about is get yourself an RQ22 Chevrolet Blazer S10. Now, you know, the whole meta for the uncommon off-road cars kind of just blew open because the Defender 110 went up to rare. So now, you know, you don't have this one car owning everything. So it's nice to have a variety again. Obviously, you have the Land Rover Discovery 1, and there is the Land Rover, I think it was, what is it called? Is it Series 1? Where is it? Yeah, the Land Rover Series 1. It used to be common. It went up to uncommon RQ22 now. But that car is still very, very weak in my opinion. I don't think it's very good. I heard it got a hill climb buff. I'm not too sure about it. I have one of my own, but I never used it. And when it was a common, it lost to four-wheel drive standard Subarus that were also common. And, you know, this is a four-wheel drive off-roader car, so it hasn't really impressed me much. I don't have much to say about the Series 1, but I can say, do get yourself a Chevy Blazer RQ22 S10 off-road tires, 4-wheel drive. Every player has it because if you get top drives, you get that from the free pack, and you still do. Because on my Gawam's account, Dead Series, we got that as well. It's a great car to have, really. It's low RQ and it gets the job done. The next thing I want to talk about is in the RQ23 range. Get yourself a Mazda Cosmo 969, that bad boy. It has great handling, medium ground clearance. It got a recent buff. It used to be low in RQ20, now it's RQ23 and medium, and of course it has standard tires as well. It has good handling, it's an 82 handling. For standard tires, medium ground clearance, that's actually pretty good. Anyway, moving on, the DB5, you could max your DB5 if you want because the MRI is respectable, and of course finish off your RQ26 Mazda Cosmo. It gets 137.4 and 80, medium ground clearance, standard tires as well. Very, very nice. The last thing I want to talk about here is get yourself an RQ27 Pontiac. I think we missed that, so let's go back a little bit. Obviously I'm playing this video on 2x speed because if I wasn't, it would end up being a 7-minute video. There it is, the Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2. That's a great car to have. Medium once again, standard once again, and the final stats at 969 is 118, 7.30 to 60, and 81 handling. The last thing I want to talk about, the last two things in the uncommon range. The first one is max out your Fiat Dino Spider or Dino Spider at 969, and finally get yourself an RQ29 Lancia Beta Coupe. All the other RQ29s you have, right? You have the Europa Cup, the Plymouth GTX, the Twizy, the Mazda Eunice. One that you're missing out on is the Lancia Beta Coupe. This was one that I was missing out on recently as well, but I recently maxed it out. It's a great car, 6.90 to 60, 85 handling, medium ground clearance, really decent car. Anyway, moving on to rares now. The first one I'll talk about is kind of just for you guys, the audience. That Donkey S7, it hits 5.4, 0 to 60, 82 handling, but what really makes it so special is not only it has a really low RQ of 30, it's also genuinely amazingly light. At 969, it only weighs 489 kilograms, which is probably one of the lightest cars in the game. One car for you, Ambang, to max out as well, would be the Dodge Coronet Super B. I love this car. It used to be RQ30, went up to 31 because it has an amazing 0 to 60 for its RQ. Huge bang for your buck. Not the best MRA, but not the worst. Obviously, the handling is trash and the top speed isn't too high, but it's a great quarter-mile and half-mile car for the low RQ rares, or just low RQ in general. It hits 4.60 to 60 and 149 top speed at 996. Another drag car that I want to recommend to you is a car that recently got buffed, and that is the RQ35 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454, because that car is actually pretty decent now. 0 to 60, it hits 4.3 seconds, and it has standard tires, so definitely not a bad car. You don't have it in your garage, and that's why I say over here, get yourself an RQ35 Chevy Chevelle SS 454. Anyway, moving on. Oh, and also I want to do a quick tangent here. I just realized that you are lacking, when I was looking through this garage before recording, you are lacking in the around the world department, and this kind of goes for everyone that's watching the video as well. Really watch out for your around the world collection, because the around the world, whatchamacallit, the around the world tag, especially in the low RQs, are comprised of cars people don't usually collect, if you know what I mean. So some cars that I recently maxed out in my own garage was the RQ25 Pontiac Montana, because standard tire, decent handling, not the best, but decent for, you know, the category that it's in, being around the world. I also maxed out an RQ27 Buick Riviera and a RQ32 Lamborghini Huracan GT. So 2 uncommons and 1 rare. Those are the ones that I maxed out on my account, and obviously if I max in my account, it probably means that I think it's pretty good. So those are some solid recommendations. Some that I have yet to collect in my account, but I want to, is the rare RQ36 Monte Carlo SS 454 and the RQ21 Ford Granada. Now the RQ21 Ford Granada isn't very good. It's just, it serves a very niche category in the tag around the world. So those are the next 2 cars that I'm looking for around the world. And obviously, you know, we've all seen how the challenges go for, you know, these special tags. They're kind of like owners challenges. They start off kind of, they challenge the entire rarity of your garage from common to epic. Usually not legendary, especially with the McLaren short tail finals. Not the finals, but the challenge. It was so easy. You could have done it with just epics. No legendaries needed. And I think, what was the tag for that? Call of the Wild. That was it. That was so easy for me because of the Vipers. Anyway, moving on to super rares now. The only one that I want to recommend is either max out your Chevrolet SSR 6.0. It's a decent car, but it's not the best. It used to be the best best American medium ground clearance, the best American city streets car in my opinion. And as you can see right there, you have it stock. So yeah, I would recommend maxing that out. It used to be the best, but now it's the second best because the best one is the Mustang. It's RQ49, 4.30 to 60, 86 handling. I think really good looking car now. I feel like honestly it's a borderline ultra rare with its stats. But yeah, we'll see it in a bit because I know you do have this maxed out. There you go, 4386 medium ground clearance. Very impressive, that Mustang GT convertible. I wouldn't be surprised if that car goes ultra rare in the near future, and because of that, I'm thinking it's time to start hoarding the Mustang GT convertible like I do with ID types. Because when you think about it, there is an RQ52 Mustang, which is 4.287. Right, so it's just 0.1 to 60 faster and 1 handling more, but at 3 RQ. So it's either that Mustang that's at RQ52 either goes down to RQ50, or this one goes up to RQ50, because 4.386, that is actually very, very impressive for the Mustang GT convertible. It's also a convertible, so that's another niche that it crosses off, because we all know that, you know, Hutch loves to play with those convertible rides, but that's definitely a car I would say get multiple of, and that's not only for me, not only for Ambang, but for you guys as well. Definitely start hoarding those Mustang GT convertibles. I feel like that car should get an upgrade. If not, then the ultra rare one should get a downgrade. Not a downgrade to super rare, but just a downgrade to 50 or 51. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to ultra rares now. We're just gonna look at his ultra rares because I have a whole list of just cars that he should fuse, but obviously I'm going to make a second video. This one's the garage review video, and then I'm going to make a more in-depth video personalized just for Ambang, for himself as well. So, you know, for the cars that you should fuse, I have it all listed here, but, you know, some of them would be like, you know, fuse your second Opel Adam R2 if you don't play a lot of clubs, because truly you only need, you know, multiple of those max if you play clubs. If not, you know, one is just good enough. And obviously if you look at his ultra rare collection, it's very nice. You know, a lot of Maseratis. I feel like he has like every Maserati in the game. Obviously Ambang, we've talked about this before. You know, you're huge on Italian cars. Well, you're actually not huge on Italian cars. It's just that your garage has a lot of Italian cars, and you drop a lot of Italian cars as well. So you might as well specialize in Italy. I mean, you have a really good foundation for it with all your ultra rares. It's a very solid collection for sure. A lot of max cars. For the lower rarities, I did see a lot of 2 stars, which you know, makes me assume that they're already fully upgraded, but you just haven't paid for the final upgrades yet, if you know what I mean. Like, all the fuses are done. Let me know if I'm right. But yeah, this one, the Volkswagen Golf R32. I remember Leo and we reviewed your garage live on my Discord probably like a month and a half ago, and I remember talking about how we need to fuse that R32, and I knew that you were a bit skeptical about fusing it. I'm not sure if this is the same exact one, but bro, I don't know why it's still there. Like, if I were you, I would just get rid of it. The Golf R32 is such a joke of a car. I hate that thing, and it's so ugly as well, and it's so useless, just for real. But yeah, this is a very solid collection. You know, Max Boxer Spider, very big ultra rare collection. This is once again a garage of over 1,000 cars, but we'll see the total count in a bit later. 2 BTRs, 2 030s, actually 3, but we'll see the third one later considering how he's doing it. Auto Delta, Rapide, Colorado, M6 convertible, RS200. Once again, you know, all the key cars. I think only missing the no, I was gonna say TVR Temora. You have a TVR Temora. And the Evo 4 and like the S63 and the 968 Turbo. I think you basically have every key ultra rare you can get. So congratulations to you. I might be missing 1 or 2, but honestly, those were the ones that were on the top of my list. Anyway, moving on to epics. All I have to say is that there's a lot of variety when I look at the epics, right? Not a lot of maxed epics, and I'm actually surprised that you don't have the Mercedes 6x6, considering you are a huge Mercedes fan. I mean, his name is Ambang. It's MB-AMG, Mercedes-Benz AMG. This picture is a Mercedes as well. But yeah, I was surprised I didn't get that considering it was a prize car in the last finals. You probably ended up getting the tier 2 prize car, which was I think the XJ13. I can't remember. Wasn't the 6x6 was the tier 3, right? The tier 3 epic prize car? I can't remember. But yeah, definitely a solid collection here. You know, 2 maxed out Gallardo LP550s, the Disco Volante. I think those were the ones that won you the Veyron, right? I think so. But yeah, Diablo GT, you know, 2 wide bodies, you lucky boy. Actually, funny story about the wide body. He opened the Dodge Carbon Fibers, I think about 3 to 4 minutes after I opened my Dodge Carbon carbon fibers. I think this was the episode where I didn't get the nitro. This was the one before, where I think I got my like 6 SRT Charger Hellcat, which I have 3 maxed out now of. And it was funny because we were in the same Discord server, in my Discord server, obviously, and I just wrapped up recording my stream, which was opening my Dodge carbon fibers. I'm sure you guys have seen that episode as well, that video as well. And then about 4 minutes later, he was like, I'm gonna open it too. You know, Ambang was gonna open it too, and he ended up getting the wide body, and I was just like, are you serious? Like, the game honestly doesn't want me to get it. Obviously, it's a tier 2 price card for the Senna, but like, I kind of want the Senna, so I don't know. Max SRT Hellcat, you know, nice Gallardo. You got the Yellowbird already. I mean, when I was looking at your lower end garage, I was like, you must have the Yellowbird already. 2 Evo 10 FQ360. Those cars are amazing, medium 4-wheel drive, and those amazing stats. You know, CC100, definitely very, very strong garage, and of course that Mercedes ML that recently got buffed. But yeah, moving on to legendaries now. Not much I have to say for legendaries. I mean, all I can say is that you're on a roll. You know, you're on a roll. You won the Veyron, then you ended up winning the Porsche 959 Dakar as well, or the 959 Dakar. But yeah, I would say, you know, since you're on a roll, why not try and get the McLaren Senna next, right? Because as you can see here, you have the god of the donkeys. You have the best donkey in the game, the Donkey D8 GTO RS. When I think of GTO, I think of Pontiac. I don't really think of donkey, but and yeah, some people were asking me, you know, I see donkey, tomato, and egg. Donkey is Donkeyvort, tomato is Di Tommaso, and egg, some people didn't know what egg was. It's just Koenigsegg, because the last words is just egg. But yeah, the donkey is, you have a really good one. I wrote it down already. You have one legendary donkey, you have one epic spiker, you have one epic Peugeot, and you have enough fuse. And obviously, I'll tell you this in your own personalized video, Ambang. You have a lot of fuse. You have a lot of fuse to go around. You can max out 2-3 epics, and you know, honestly, you just need 2 more epics, or maybe 1 epic, 1 legendary, and I think you're in a good shot for the Senna. So yeah, if you want to think about it, go for the Senna, man, if I were you. And that's where I would throw my resources in. But you know, it's a great collection. 3 Lamborghini Murcielagos as well, the Short Tail, the Veyron, of course, you talked about him winning it already, the Jaguar CX-75, and the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadra Spaghetti. Anyway, it's a very solid collection, I would say, for sure. And as you can see here at the end of the video, just a little bit of bonus, because we only looked at his locked cars. Everything we saw here, guys, which is it was his locked cars. We got played. 887 cars. Total garage is 1,004. These are his unlocked cars, and as you can see, there are even more epics that he has in the Cyclone and the 8C, the Boss 302 that is trash now because it's low. The Aston Martin Rapide, the 030. See, that's what I mean. He had a third 030. Like I feel like you would keep all the 030s. Also keep the Peugeot 205 in my opinion. But yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, he had a lot more. He had a lot more in his garage, and we just saw the locked ones. But with that said, let's go to the Blossom score and give him a Blossom score. Alright guys, and we are back at the Blossom score. As you can see, I'm slowly updating it. Kind of like Top Drives with the RQ rescale. I'm rescaling the points on my Blossom score just to make everything a bit more separated, right? So in the past, it was 0 out of 10. Now I timed it by 100, by 10, sorry, and now it's 0 out of 100. As you can see, a lot of these scores are still the old scores. Like this used to be a 5, this used to be a 16, and I just added a 0 to everything because everything was multiplied by 100. So I've been slowly updating all the scores. So as you can see here, like Supercar, Subaru, Large Stella, they already have their new scores. So it's like 407, 408, 438, and then obviously, you know, I've already updated all these scores. But then all these ones where you see it's like 570, 470, 450, those are the ones I haven't updated yet. And of course, you know, some of the more recent ones like Reese, Chicken, Luke, Corn. I don't know why I find that funny. We have Corn and we have Chicken. But yeah, you have your updated scores as well. So for Ambang, you're also going to be the first person to get. You're actually the first person to get your new updated scores on the new 0 to 100 scale live, not live, but recorded on a Top Drives Garage Review video. So with that said, let's go with uniqueness. It's I can't say it's the most unique of garages really. You know, like in terms of upgrades, everything's very textbook. Everything's by the book. Everything is very organized. I like it very much. Obviously some 2-star cars, but I feel like you're already done with those. But you know, it's not like you have 100 of one car, 100 of the other. You have a lot of Mercedeses, and you did upgrade a lot of Mercedes Mercedes-Benz cars that I feel like most people won't upgrade and max, so I'll give you some props on that. But once again, it's not the most unique thing I've ever seen, so I'm going to give you a 78. Moving on to patriotism, definitely I can see your love for Mercedes. I can see that you have a lot of Aston Martins as well, so I'm not sure if that's kind of your thing as well, but also a lot of Italian rides. So for that, I have to say it's a very solid collection. I'm going to give you an 87. Moving on to character, once again, it's a garage with some character, you know, a lot of Mercedes, a lot of Italian. It's nice to see people actually just focus on their specializations. Once again, specialization, especially if you're not a pay to win, is like the bread and butter for your strategy, and if you want to be successful in the game. So it's nice to see that you have, you know, a great foundation, you know, great character in your garage, and because of that, I'm going to give you a 90, which gives us a total score of, hold on, 78 plus 87 plus 90 gives us 255. So moving on to the top drive scale now, I have to say it's a big garage. It's over 1,000, right? We've seen Luke, who had like I think 1,100, checking also with a massive garage. Once again, we are over 1,000, so with that I'm going to give you a 91 because it's just slightly over 1,000, 1,004. Obviously, I've rated these other guys where they're at like 1,100, 1,050, kind of stuff like that. So 91. Moving on to strength, is a very strong garage, very, very, very strong. I have to be honest. In terms of ultra rare and below epics, like I said, you are missing out. I feel like there's just not a lot of maxed out epics that you have for the garage of your size, but still, you know, anything below is very, very strong, and I have to give you a 91 as well. Moving on to versatility, is a very versatile garage. You have, you know, off-road tires, standard tires, silks, slicks, you know, four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, all that kind of stuff. And among all rarities, from legendary to common, legendaries you got the Quadro Spaghetti, and then, you know, for ultra rares you got, you know, the Colorado. Epic off-roaders was a bit off because you had no Raptor, you had no 6x6, but then again you had the what was it? You had the ML, Mercedes ML. So you know. So once again, still a lot of variety there, and I have to say it's a very versatile garage, and I'm going to give you an 85. Moving on to lethal level, once again a lot of max cars, but some of them kind of like 2 stars. Like you haven't finished it yet. Obviously, you're just waiting for that time to capitalize and pounce. But I have to say it's a very lethal garage. It's very, very strong indeed, and I'm going to give you an 80. Next is going to be potential. This is a garage with a lot of potential for sure. You already have a great foundation, especially when it comes to Mercedes, especially when it comes to Italy, even Aston Martin for that matter, or just anything UK based. Is a very strong garage, especially those two CC100s as well. Those are just generally amazing cars. Potentially, you know, your garage has a lot of potential. It's very, very high. I know how you play the game as well. You do open packs pretty frequently, and for that I have to give you a 98, which gives us a final score of, and now I have to use my calculator every time because honestly these numbers are way too big for me to calculate for my little brain. But yeah, adding everything together, and the score is 449. Now add that along with 255, and that gives you a final score of 704. Very, very solid garage, Ambang. Very happy to review it once again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So that's about it. That is going to be garage review number, I don't even know what episode we're on, but this is the 38th guy that we are reviewing. So yeah, as you can see, I've been doing this for a while now. Messi is still, you know, the only guy that has 110 on his uniqueness score. I don't think that's ever going to change, considering it's like 3 BMW M5s, and yeah, rip to you, by the way, because they're all low now. But then you also have like 8 wide bodies, and I'm just like, how? But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Garage Review. Remember to stay safe and wash your hands, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.